now, pay later sounds harmless until you got 5 different payments coming out your account in the same week. What started as a way to avoid paying it all has quietly turned into a debt trap for a lot of people. In this video, we're looking at people who thought they was getting a deal, but ended up buried in payments they couldn't keep up with. And trust me, you're gonna want to see how bad this gets.
I paid £150 of makeup with Klarna, and now I'm 20k in debt trying to pay off credit cards, loans and pay later. It's so easy for anyone to get trapped. Be honest, does £30 here and £50 here really feel like borrowing? It didn't to me. Everything felt manageable until I was using one form of credit to pay off another, and I already know what some people say, you should have been more responsible. Fair enough, but is that the whole story? Are borrowers completely responsible for getting trapped, or are companies making debt so easy and invisible that almost anyone could fall into it? Which side are you on?
My payments were $1,250 a month on Affirm and Klarna, that is. When I started this thing at the end of March, 50. So yes, it can get worse. I really want to warn people about the pitfalls of buy now, pay laters. If you can do it responsibly, I mean, that's on you. I clearly could not do it responsibly. And will you think in your head, oh, $50 here, $15 here, but it all adds up and it gets out of control. And literally, I went viral for having 44 loans, and before that it was like closer to 50, and I have it down to a little over 20 now, I believe, but I'm about to pay 8 off. I think it's 20. See, it's so hard to keep up with, and I know that you want it now, and sometimes you have to. Like, I've done groceries, I've done all kinds of crap on Affirm and Klarna, but it adds up, and then you are in a chokehold, and in some ways it is worse than having credit card payments. It's crazy. $1,250 a month is what I was paying on Affirm and Klarna when I started this journey. That's crazy.
Hold on, wait a minute. She just came on here and said she has 25 active loans with Affirm, totaling $3,000, and her minimum payments are $800 a month. Say what, sister? $800 a month? I knew buy now, pay later apps was addictive. Don't get me wrong. But $800? I'm over here stressed out because I have 2 Affirm loans. I have 1 loan with Klarna. I owe $300 in Cash App. And I owe like $80-something in Cash App Afterpay. But you owe $800 a month minimum and $3,000 total. Baby, I'm sick for you. Like, we gotta come up with a plan. Like, don't go in debt using these apps, child. I promote them all day long, and I love them down. But they cannot get to a point where it's an extra bill for me. Like, an extra $25, $50, $100 a month. Okay, fine. But $800 for minimum payments, that's insane.
I was trying to find who she was talking about, but I can't find them. They need some milk. But at least this next person is going to be positive about it. Let's look at it.
Let's check in on my buy now, pay laters, aka my Affirm payments. Hey, if you're new, my name is Kayla. I'm 26 years old, a registered nurse in California, working as a school nurse. And I am in $18,000 worth of credit card debt, but I also have some buy now, pay laters, which I'm going to update you guys on what the balances are and what my plan is for the next quarter. Okay, so I have an Amazon one that I pay a minimum of $84.32, and the current balance is $498.06, and it's gonna take about 6 more payments to pay this off. So for this Amazon payment, it was $51.40. This was for my laptop that I needed to get for school, and I have a remaining of $292.91. So I have about 6 payments left on this one. And then this one is for my permanent jewelry business. I pay a minimum of $300.76 on the payments, and I have about 5 payments left, and the current balance is $1,486.78. And last one that I have, this one is going to be paid off. I'm gonna try to pay this off by the end of this month, we shall see. It's literally 4 more days, but the minimum is $142.86, and what's left is $141.21. So we literally just need one more payment. So hopefully I can pay this off before March ends. I don't know how, but we will figure it out. So my goals for the next quarter. Obviously, I want to pay off that $141 sculpting training that I got, hopefully by the end of March. But I want to pay off the Amazon one that is $292.91. I want to try and pay that off before the end of April. And then I want to pay off the Amazon $498.06 before the end of the school year. So I have until June 6th to do that. I know the permanent jewelry one, that's going to take a little bit, but hopefully that one I can pay off by the end of August, either by the end of August or before I go back to work for the new school year. So those are the goals for the buy now, pay laters. I'll be making a separate video about my quarter 2 goals for my credit cards, but for the buy now, pay laters, this is the plan. And obviously, once we pay all of this shit off, we are not going to be using buy now, pay later platforms. I've already closed down my Klarna and my Afterpay. I am not able to make another account, even if I tried. So yeah.
Hey, friend. Friend, you know I built my platform off of transparency, so I'm going to give it to you raw, whether you like it or not. You can either listen, scroll, or block me. At the end of the day, I don't give a... Okay, let's get to the nitty-gritty. I just add up all my numbers between Cash App, Borrow, Cash App, Afterpay. Let me go down the line. Klarna, Affirm, Selzer, Zip, Afterpay. Friend. $4,553.98. Now, friend, I know you finna say, girl, what the hell you been doing? It's these motherfucking kids, friend. It's these motherfucking kids and Santa Claus. At this point, just take all my motherfucking credit cards, debit card, buy that, pay that, apps, like, delete all them motherfuckers. I know you finna say, friend, how much you owe on them apps? Cash App, Afterpay, I owe $280.68. Cash App, Borrow, I owe... They let me borrow up to $350. So with the fees, I owe $367.50. Klarna, I owe $821.86. Affirm, I owe $2,660.73. That's some damn money orders. And I just got a big order for my kids. So sales of $174.06. Zip $201.02. And Afterpay $48.13. Friend, come save me right now. So I know I can't be the only one. Drop your numbers in the chat so I can feel better about how much I owe these people.
Damn. At least she keeping it real. If you don't want to be like her, watch this next clip.
Black folks, let's talk. Because, I mean, this is getting to be ridiculous. Those buy now and pay laters, y'all, is quietly keeping us and our communities broke. Y'all, it's the Klarnas, the Afterpays, the Affirms, and the Zips. Y'all, those are not budgeting tools. Those are just microloans disguised as convenience. And I hate how they target us. Some people are using buy now to pay later, y'all, for groceries. Times I've gotten that bad, folks are using them for groceries. That means, y'all are borrowing money on these apps just to eat. Some of y'all are financing clothes, trips, shoes, electronics, basic household goods. And many people, y'all don't even realize some of these plans, y'all, I don't know if y'all don't understand APR, but they can be 38% APR. That's credit card interest. And here's the real problem. When you start financing necessities, it means your paycheck isn't supporting your life anymore. It means your income is already stretched past survival. So why would you jump on board to something like that? That buy now, pay later was marketed for flexibility, but it quickly turned into debt, layered on top of debt after debt after debt. Now people aren't financing wants, they're financing survival. And once you lose track of multiple payment schedules across these apps, the late fees, y'all, starts multiplying fast. So if you have to borrow money just to cover your groceries, the issue isn't spending anymore. The issue is the structure of your paychecks. That's how people get trapped into working harder every single year. And really, in actuality, y'all, these apps are making us as a community fall further and further behind. I'm Dr. O, y'all, and I'm out.
See, that's a very honest lady. She's talking facts. This next lady, she ain't so honest.
And from buy now, pay later, see, this is what happens when you think that you're smarter than the system. I'm not knocking anybody's hustle that has to use Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm all at one time. When you're trying to make a purchase and it's saying we're not able to assist you, your order didn't go through, you're trying to figure out what's going on, and you're thinking that it's your card, but no, baby, they unflagged you. It's saying that your account was suspended. Afterpay is saying that your account is restricted. Affirm is saying that your account is permanently closed due to suspicious activity. All of the orders that you had attempted within the last 2 days have been canceled, and all your forms of payment have been blocked. You're thinking it's a mistake. You're trying to figure out what's going on. Buy now, pay laters are all saying there are payments that are due immediately. You've missed payments. The late fees are stacked on top of each other, and they're 60 days away from sending it to collection. Have me on a three-way phone conversation, and they're asking the representatives, okay, are you able to let me know how much it is? What is the late fees? Across all of the platforms to buy now, pay laters, you owe $9,000. After our conversation, if you're trying to figure out what's going on, that your transaction is not going through, you call back and say that you are reporting fraud for these transactions that have to do with Klarna, Afterpay, and Affirm from all of the last 6 months. You think that you're going to get over $15,000 back? Kicking off the investigation at this point.
At least she knows she banned. This lady in this next clip, she got all three of them on, and act like she don't even care to find out what she owe.
I need to come clean about something. At one point this year, I had an active Klarna, an active Afterpay, and an Affirm going at the same time, plus my credit card, and I genuinely could not have told you what I owed on any of them. Buy now, pay later literally just turned my brain completely off. But actually helped me get my arms around it was kind of dumb, but I got this app called Ditch that rounds up every purchase that I make and throws the change at whatever debt that I pointed at. So I aimed it at the card with the worst interest first. Every time I spend, a few cents goes to it, knocking it down. And the app shows me everything in one place, so I've stopped pretending like the balances don't exist. Didn't fix my spending overnight, but it did make the paying off part automatic, which is the part that I would always avoid.
Yeah, them saxophones loud, but they finna get louder. Look at the next clip.
I paid for 150 pounds of makeup with Klarna, and I'm now 20K pounds in debt trying to pay off credit cards, loans, and pay later. And it is so easy for anyone to get trapped. It was only 30 pounds here, 50 pounds there, completely manageable until I was using one form of credit to pay off another. And before anyone says,
"You should have been more responsible,"
that's exactly the debate. Is it entirely the borrower's fault? Or are these companies deliberately making debt feel so easy and invisible that almost anyone can get trapped? You tell me.
Guys, I've been calculating my debt and it's actually a lot more than I thought. So I was actually calculating what I had borrowed without the added interest, which was £26,502. However, with interest, it is £34,856. That is an added cost of interest of £8,354. That is crazy. I had no clue I was paying this much interest. It just shows how irresponsible I've been with my finances, and yeah, it's absolutely got to stop now.
Yes, it has to stop. Now let's look at a little bit of education about buy now, pay later, shall we?
Okay, so let's get straight into it. So the question is buy now or pay later a good idea? And I'm just gonna say for me, the answer is no. And the reason is for two things. Number one, it really encourages overspending. When you know that you gotta pay for something later, you're gonna end up putting way more money down because you're gonna be like, hey, I don't have to touch that hurt and that pain of buying it right now. That's the first thing. The next thing is like the consumer protection is terrible. Like when you have to return something or whatever might have happened, you already paid for it and then you made a commitment that you're going to pay for something later, they're less likely to take your call, right? You haven't paid for it fully and they want to make sure they lock you in on the payments. And then the interest on some of those things are ridiculous. That's kind of a bonus third. But the main moral of the story is I would not advise buy now or pay later. Wait till you got the money, wait till you got the cheese, wait till you got it, and then you buy it all at one time and you're done with it, and then you enjoy the product, whatever it may be. Per usual, love you guys, be easy.
Buy now, pay later, it's like the old school installment loan. You pay for a quarter of whatever you're buying up front, and then you've got installments, usually 4 payments in total. So you make one now, and then if you pay those next 3 installments off, it's kind of a great deal. There's no interest, no worries, no problem. Okay, what if you don't make those payments? That's what Klarna has said. They said, oh, you know, there are a lot of people who are using these plans. They're not making those next 3 payments. You can be subject to interest and penalties and fees. Could be a few dollars, could go up to 25%. So I think that a lot of people like the idea of buy now, pay later, but essentially it is the same trap we often can get into with credit cards. We can spend more than we intend to, and we can actually see fees if we're not paying these off on time.
So do we think that what's happening is a lot of 20-year-olds are saying, look, here's a way to get 80% off sunglasses. You know, you just buy them, pay this little fraction, and walk away.
I don't want to just throw shade on the 20-year-olds because all of us have that moment. Because when you check out online, you know that it immediately says, do you want to pay for this all up front or do you want to spread it out over time? So we're all falling for this. I think the problem is, as always, that you know, if we look back 5 years, we went through this COVID crisis, we built up our savings, the economy reopened, we spent through all those savings, and people still want to spend.
Yeah.
And credit cards and buy now, pay later plans, they allow you to spend freely, but with a huge catch. You are going to get spanked if you can't pay these loans back.
What's something that immediately screams bad with money to you? Because for me, it's if you own any type of buy now, pay later app. I'm talking Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm, whatever. Like, why are you splitting up a $60 purchase at Shein, babe?
This might ruffle some feathers, but if you use buy now, pay later, just know you're ruining it for the rest of us. I know it's amazing buying things and not having to pay full price, but companies don't see it like that. The companies that are actually selling a product, they're not seeing a fraction of a sale. They're seeing a full sale, a higher demand for their product. What happens when there's higher demand for a product? Prices rise. So everyone who's already paying full price up front now might have to pay even more if the company decides to up their price because of higher demand. If prices for a product rise a little too much, that's going to give incentive for more and more people to start using buy now, pay later. And then over time, a company just has so much leverage to say there's so much demand for our product, we're just going to up our price to an astronomical level. And everyone's just okay with it because they're like, I'll pay later. It's a psychological trick that companies are playing on us and we're just falling for it. Long story short, stop financing your burritos.
Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the comment. In this video, she says, I'm really drowning in debt. I don't know what to do to get it paid quicker. I need help. I think you need to stop shopping, but let's look at some of these comments. Let's figure out what's going on. Step change. Can't recommend them enough. What is step change? I don't know what that is. I feel like that's an ad. I ain't gonna lie. Don't pay it, move out of the U.S. and don't feel bad about it. Alternatively, pay it off, but still move abroad because you'll be able to live fast. You'll be able to faster living. What? You'll be able to faster living in another country that's much cheaper? I don't understand that comment, but good job, Lindsay. If we all donated $1 to everyone, we could all help out each other. She put the GoFundMe. Let's see if this GoFundMe is still up really quick. I'm actually kind of nosy. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, it's up. Yeah, she didn't raise $33 out of 4,000. 24 years old in debt. 22 pounds. It's a little different. I just want my life to start. Golly. Look at her. I'm in so much debt. She's smiling, but behind that smile is some pain. She is struggling. Look at Farrakhan doing the Farrakhan pose. I just testified for bankruptcy, best feeling ever. Okay, shawty. Okay, the M Jalty, however you say that. Nah, while we in our 20s with $20K worth of debt, what the fuck? Laughing face, 16,000 likes. Okay. I don't blame people for marrying rich sometimes. Shawty, you's a gold digger. Gold digger, well, that's a girl, yeah. Ignore it. Mwah. Damn, you're so right, queen. Yeah, I mean, you could ignore it, and your credit gonna be ignored. You walk into the car dealership, they're gonna ignore you. Somebody said something. Somebody with four credit scores said something. They're gonna look right past you. Okay, somebody else said $26,000 of debt at the age of 25. Lovely faces. TikTok be sensationalizing bullshit sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. Why is you happy that you got, unless it's good debt? This is buy now, pay later debt. You don't need to be glorifying $26,000 worth of consumer debt. What is you doing? My sister, what is you doing? You got hella clothes for nothing, and you have no assets. Your only asset is your ass. That's all you got. If you got that, because most of these are women that's saying this and doing this buy now, pay later debt. This is very, very shameful. Very, very shameful. I hope you guys don't get into this debt. If you guys know anybody who's doing this stupid nonsense with this buy now, pay later, drop them down in the comments. I'm going to feature you guys in the next video. Let me know. Until next time, it's Josh from Talk to Him Boy, and I just talked to him, boy. I'm out.